There was a tool that showed you every car you've had on finance and what you could be owed. Well, there is, and it's called Car Claim. This is going to be a bit of a different collective tarot reading video today. We are going to be diving into a twin flame connection or a high-level soulmate connection, depending on what you are dealing with here, but some kind of soul bond that you have with another person that is very complex, that is extremely multi-layered and also spiritually protected, meaning there are spirit guides that are assigned specifically to this connection. And this is why you've felt this consistent pull and a sense of being tethered to this other person, even though at times I get the sense you or the other person have tried to fully sever the bond or to separate. I'm getting that the reason you still feel tethered and connected is because there are essentially twin flame guides or soulmate guides, like spirit guides that are specifically assigned to this love connection, which is also a deeply spiritual connection, in order to sort of veer it into certain directions, to keep it on a particular track or pathway. But I'm also hearing there are some very unexpected ways that this path will unfold. So you may have initially thought that this twin flame path or this soulmate path had to look a particular way. And what I'm getting is that things are radically evolving within this connection. Whoever I'm speaking to here, this is a very unconventional bond, and it's one that your soul has been navigating to the best of its ability. It's very understandable that at times this becomes really heavy or challenging, because whatever you're dealing with here is the kind of connection that only a very ancient and advanced soul would choose to experience in a physical human lifetime, because of how complicated and, again, like multi-layered you knew this connection would be. I'm also getting that if this tarot reading is for you today, which it won't be for everyone, I feel like I'm speaking to a very specific group of either twin flames or soulmates who will connect with this reading. But if this reading is for you, then most likely you've had periods of time where you've felt a lot of heaviness around this soul bond. And so part of the purpose of this reading today is simply to provide you a little bit of comfort, to let you know that you are not alone in this, even if you feel that this bond is greatly misunderstood by many other people, and even if at times you feel like you don't even fully understand it yourself, you are still very much divinely protected and guided here. And I'm hearing that you're doing better than you're giving yourself credit for. Like, you may think, I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know if I'm taking the right path here or doing the right things when it comes to this connection. But the first message that your spirit guides and ancestors who are surrounding and connecting with this particular connection want you to know is you're doing so much better than you think or that you often give yourself credit for. So that is the first message coming through here. And another thing I've been picking up about this is that
the ring, it is that symbol of a vow. She wants something that she...
Shut up. Where were we?
Here. And another thing I've been picking up about this is that throughout this connection, it's almost like you've been on this particular sort of like roadway, a highway, I guess you could say, spiritually, and you often see signs that let you know when you are moving in the right direction. And we're going to get into what that means later on, but essentially there are signs given to you by the universe or by your own like system. Maybe you feel it through your intuition that let you know that you are still on the right track, even if you do feel deeply misunderstood by many of the people around you. And maybe you saw one such sign lately, and that might be why this video.
Shut up. What happened for?
is coming through for you today. In fact, for some of you, this video in itself may be one of those signs that you are on the right track here, a sign of encouragement to keep going. So I am going to be shuffling the cards here and getting into the messages because I know that this is going to be a really unique transmission. Again, I'm not sure who exactly this is going to be connecting with. For some of you, this may be a twin flame reading. For others of you, this could be a soulmate reading or just a general collective reading. This may relate more so to what's happening within you internally. But however these messages have found you and however they're relating to you, I'm setting the intention that you receive something from this reading that provides comfort and clarity on your pathway, because one message I'm getting is it's very important in a way to comfort yourself, to soothe yourself, to bring yourself into that feeling of peace and ease within, because I have the feeling that there are many people externally who are trying to generate this sense of anxiety or tension or urgency within you. Not necessarily because they're doing so maliciously, but because you're dealing with a twin flame connection or a soulmate connection that is far different from anything they've ever experienced themselves. And since they can't understand it, they might try to project onto it or project onto you. And again, often this happens very subconsciously, but it's really important that you're aware of this, because I'm hearing when you bring yourself back into a state of ease and peace and comfort within yourself, a pathway naturally becomes clear. And it might be an unexpected pathway. That's a message coming through very strongly, that the way this connection progresses may look very different from what you initially thought or expected when you first met or connected with this twin flame or soulmate. Yeah, you're open your mind with financial constraints in the upright position. I feel someone looking at the limitations of this connection or feeling angst, like, why am I still connected to this person? Why is this still happening to me? And I'm hearing there's some mental shift where you no longer see this connection as something quote unquote happening to you, but truly something happening for you. A journey that is, in a way, taking you into deeper levels of knowingness of your own self. I'm hearing that you and this soulmate or twin flame have been acting almost like spiritual guides for each other on a higher self level, leading each other to a different, deeper understanding of your true selves. You also, I'm hearing, seem to stay connected despite all odds, despite all forces externally or pressures externally. But again, there's something about how this bond may look very unconventional. And a message is coming through about allowing that unconventionality, allowing this bond to evolve, allow this to be a continuing unfolding journey that is uniquely yours, that is not necessarily meant to look like anyone else's journey. Because again, of course, it's not going to look like many other people's journeys when you are dealing with a rare kind of soul connection that many people never encounter in a single physical lifetime. The reason many people never encounter this kind of connection is because they know on some level that it would be too intense for their physical human self, which is why I say that if this reading is connecting for you, you are a very advanced soul, because you knew prior to incarnating here that you would be able to handle experiencing a connection so deep and so profound. And I'm hearing so uprooting. It feels like it's uprooted so many different aspects and areas of your physical life, but it's almost like I'm hearing something about archaeology. It's almost like you are a soul archaeologist bringing to the surface these soul artifacts, in a way, like pieces and parts of yourself on a deeper level through this uprooting, through this excavation that's been happening through this connection. So I'm hearing that lately you've been, in a way, receiving signs or synchronicities around this twin flame connection or soulmate connection that may be a bit confusing, because what I'm hearing is mixed signals. So you may feel as though these signs are somehow confusing or contradictory, and that might be why this reading has come to you today, because on the one hand, with caring connections, I feel that you can sense you are receiving before I go to bed,
Go ahead.
which is a great connection that really shows up for you and grounds you and supports you in the physical world. So for some of you listening, maybe you've met someone new romantically that is separate from this particular connection or person, this soulmate or twin flame that you've been intensely connecting with through the years or the decades. So you may have met someone new who brings a softness into your life, who you feel yourself almost like receiving signs from the universe that this is someone that you want to explore a connection with. You're receiving signs letting you know that this feels warm and safe and open and exciting and like something you want to lean into. And yet the sign that feels conflicting is that you still feel connected to this twin flame or soulmate that you've had this really intense bond with over the course of time. I'm hearing, what do I do here? Yeah, this won't be specific to everyone, but for someone listening, it's like, which pathway do I go down? Because it feels like you're almost being pulled in two different pathways. It might not literally be that someone new came into your life. Maybe for some of you, this is you going down a more independent path and you just like leaning in more to your own physical life experience, or you like leaning more into this journey of self-love that feels like it's naturally leading you away from some kind of physical union with this twin flame or soulmate. But I'm hearing that's an illusion. There's this element of illusion here that the ego mind is creating in this twin flame connection or this soulmate connection. Because what I'm getting is that you are feeling as though when you perceive things through the ego mind, that these two pathways being presented to you are somehow contradictory. And so you feel like you're getting mixed signs from the universe because you feel like you're being pulled down one pathway that is contradictory to the other pathway. But your spirit guides are saying these pathways are not contradictory. And the reason that you're being guided down both pathways at once is because they're actually intertwined. I'm hearing they're different expressions of you. Like I said, you're a very multifaceted soul, and this connection is very multi-layered. And so what many people don't understand is that you are always going to be connected to this twin flame or soulmate on a fifth dimensional level, a 5D level, a higher energy level, while at the same time, you are meant to be experiencing your physical human life experience to the fullest, learning, growing, evolving, expanding through, I'm hearing, the living of your actual life, which I know sounds strange, but when you're someone who is very spiritually oriented and you're a very old soul and you are someone who is very empathic and naturally able to sense into the higher realms spiritually, it's very natural for you to deny the physical human expression, to deny just enjoying and living your physical human life experience to the fullest, because again, you're so spiritually oriented and gifted. You have these spiritual gifts to perceive into the higher realms that can at times be distracting to the physical human life experience, because you at times can feel like you're being overwhelmed and inundated by spiritual information, and there can be this temptation to make all of your decisions based on what you are perceiving or sensing through your spiritual gifts, instead of letting yourself be this incarnated human here on earth that you are and enjoy and live and create in this physical life experience. This is why life on planet Earth can be really difficult as a very advanced soul, as an evolved soul. But you were up for the challenge and you're still up for the challenge. That's a major message from your spirit guides and ancestors coming through here. But anyway, getting back to this connection specifically, I'm just hearing shift your perspective, open your mind, because you're being led down two different directions. If a part of your soul is feeling this desire to still have a level of connectedness with your twin flame or with this soulmate you've had this very intense bond with, but another part of you is really desiring to let yourself lean into some seemingly different pathway where you're opening to love or to romance or to the human experience in a different way. What if these two pathways are not actually mutually exclusive? What if they're even mutually supportive or beneficial? when you look at these pathways from a higher perspective, the perspective of your soul, instead of from the ego mind, which sees through limitation, through lack, through society's expectations or the pressures from people around you. Because what I'm hearing is, imagine yourself removing all of the pressure, removing any expectations from family or friends or society or anyone else around you, and just fully leaning into, like, what is my soul saying?
Hey, it's Tom here. I want to teach you how to generate a side income from property flipping.
Thanks.
About this connection or about my pathway forward. And I'm getting this may even be a powerful meditation exercise for you in your twin flame connection or your soulmate connection, for you to simply close your eyes and ask yourself, if I remove all external pressures and expectations, if I remove everyone else from this equation, if I simply ask myself on a pure soul level, which pathway or what am I feeling guided towards within myself, apart from all of those external, it is being placed on you externally. But it's almost like your soul already knows what path is right for you. Your soul already feels clear. And the reason you're feeling confused on some conscious level or heavy on some conscious level is just because, in essence, a part of you has been paying too much attention to what other people might be thinking or projecting or saying about this choice that your soul has already made. Because I feel like on a deeper level, your soul knows and understands that there's something very sacred about this twin flame bond, about this soulmate bond, whatever this very intense soul connection is for you, while at the same time, you know that you're being guided to open up in new ways that feel good for you in this physical human world, whether that's opening to new expressions of romantic love or new ways of expressing yourself or new, more independent pathways, whatever that's looking like for you. And again, these two pathways, that connectedness to this twin flame or soulmate and that expression in your physical human self, are not only not mutually exclusive, but they're actually mutually beneficial. Because what I'm getting is that when you choose the pathway that is best for yourself, you're actually choosing the highest pathway, not just for yourself, but for your twin flame or for your soulmate as well. And you are, in essence, elevating the both of you. Allow yourself to follow what feels good to you on that pure soul level. Again, taking everyone else out of the equation. Allow yourself to follow what your soul knows to be true for you, apart from any expectations around timing. You were not here. You were not sent here. You did not bring yourself here as a soul to planet Earth to adhere to the timing expectations or the pressures of other people. You incarnated here to actually create a brand new template. And this is where we're starting to get into the spirit guides connected to your twin flame connection or your soulmate connection, and how these guides have been veering or directing you in certain ways. I'm hearing why you're still connected. So we need to talk about why you are still connected to this soulmate or twin flame to begin with, especially if it's created these layers of complication in your life. And again, like we mentioned earlier, really the first reason that you're still connected, the dominant reason that you've been connected since the beginning, is because you have this way of spiritual.
More caffeine. Arriving today with Amazon Prime. At the Jungle School Clinic, babysitter Ursula is about to try to reintroduce baby Clarita to teenage mum Clara. Both mother and baby are recovering from a painful rash.
anaknya, dia senang, happy. Dia melihat anaknya itu. Setelah saya ajak bicara Claranya, saya bicara ini anaknya Clara udah sembuh, kami kembalikan lagi. Adik-adik ya.
With such encouraging signs, they decide to take the risk.
Did you know if you live in the UK and are over the age of 55, you could be entitled to £10,000 in funeral protection for just £4 a month? You're still connected. The dominant reason that you've been connected since the beginning is because you have this way of spiritually excavating each other, spiritually bringing each other back to this core of who you really are on a soul level. And I'm getting that this is something you do for each other, regardless of how physically connected you are in the 3D. So you and your twin flame or soulmate may not even necessarily be consistently interacting or communicating in the physical world. And you still have this effect of this sort of spiritual excavation for each other, where you bring each other back to this core of who you really are. Yet you cut through the chaos, the noise, the illusion, and essentially retune each other to a higher frequency or energy. You bring each other back to the truth of who you are at the core, with the deceit card in the reverse position and the storm warning card reversed. I'm also getting that this soulmate or twin flame has activated you to this powerful journey of self-love, where the guides are saying you've reclaimed your emotional world with holding a heart in the upright position and the crown chakra reversed. Yeah, it feels as though, and the third eye chakra reversed and the sun card, it feels as though through this journey, you've truly developed a kind of what I would call emotional sovereignty. You've gotten this handle on what you really feel and believe on a deeper level. You've opened your heart in such a powerful way. There's definitely a mutual heart chakra activation that's taken place here between the both of you. But I'm also getting that this has broken through blockages in both your third eye chakra and your crown chakra, which has allowed you with the sun card to move into this powerful new beginning. For the both of you, I'm hearing, in a way, you've freed each other from the matrix. You've broken each other out of the matrix by helping each other to break through blockages in the crown chakra and the third eye chakra. But really, it started in the heart through feeling so much emotionally for this other person, and vice versa, them feeling the same for you. It feels like this brought in a flood of emotional energy into the heart chakra that actually began to circulate throughout both of your energetic fields. And this is what then broke through the blockages in some of the other chakra centers within the energy field, like the crown chakra or the third eye chakra. This was necessary in order to propel you both into this new beginning energy. But the thing is, I'm getting that your twin flame journey is now shifting, because with this sun card, you're now reaching this place where, in a way, you've both broken through those blockages and you're now on the other side into this fresh, new, bright energy. You both have established a sort of new beginning here. And I'm getting from here, you get to define what this is going to look like moving into the future. And that's where I said it might take an unexpected turn. It might be very different from how you may have expected this connection to look in the past. And it's very important that in defining this connection, moving into the future, you let yourself really lean into what feels right and aligned for you and completely leave other people or societal expectations out of the equation. That feels like the most powerful message that the spirit guides surrounding this twin flame connection or soulmate connection are trying to get through right now. With the Ace of Cups, yeah, this is a powerful new beginning for you in love and in life is what I'm picking up on here. So for some of you, you may decide that you do want to create or to build a more traditional 3D looking relationship with this twin flame or soulmate. For others of you, you may be opening to a brand new love connection or going your own direction here. But the most important thing is to maintain that state of peace and confidence within yourself, to trust your own unique, unconventional pathway here, and to leave the opinions and external expectations of others out of the equation, which really brings me to another purpose of this twin flame connection or soulmate connection, which is this new template that you are creating together on planet Earth. The two of you together are literally creating a new template for love and connection that is much more unconditional and less transactional than what has been created on the planet in recent times in the past. With the Ace of Pentacles template, this has required so much patience with yourself and with the journey because it's not been easy. I actually feel I'm speaking to someone who has taken on a lot of trauma or hardship as a soul in this physical human lifetime. And I'm hearing a lot of these hardships taught you what conditional love felt like. It essentially taught you the old template so that you could more effectively unravel the old template of love on the planet. And if it is invalid, we promise a tenfold refund. This denture can be successfully worn in just 1 second and is suitable for everyone. Whether you have complete...
Adopting a one-eyed cat no one wanted.
I know you love mommy.
My husband has brought home lost animals before, injured dogs, stray kittens, wildlife that needed help. But the night he carried Bruiser through our front door, everything felt different. Barely more than skin and bones, one cloudy eye barely open, his body trembling from exhaustion, fear, or both. This little guy didn't stand a chance out there, my husband said, voice low and heavy, but he didn't give up. Bruiser looked like a survivor of a life far harsher than any animal deserved. His ears were misshapen and scarred, the edges torn or cut intentionally. His mouth was empty where teeth should have been. His fur was matted, thin, and patchy. Yet even in that fragile state, he still leaned forward as if searching for human touch he had been deprived of for years. When I reached out my hand, he pressed his head into my palm. Not because he trusted me already, but because he desperately wanted to believe he could. That moment broke something inside me and rebuilt something new at the same time. He had no teeth at all, likely from past injury or neglect, and worst of all, he had diabetes that required insulin injections every 12 hours without fail. Some people would have said it was too much, too complicated, too expensive, too heartbreaking. But Bruiser didn't ask to be saved. He simply looked at us with the one good eye he had left saw, pleading, hopeful. And once an animal looks at you like that, walking away is impossible.
You want kisses too? All right, you're next, Jack.
The first months were grueling. Medication schedules covered our refrigerator door. We set alarms that rang at midnight, 2 a.m., 6 a.m., whenever Bruiser needed to eat or be checked. My husband learned how to give insulin with the gentleness of a parent holding a newborn. Bruiser never fought, never scratched, never ran. He would just sit there quiet.
With Schwarzkopf Live, we go for it. We colour at home our way, 100% fearless. Now with the new anti-damage system, my hair's protected. The result? Next level vibrant colour with new Schwarzkopf Live.
2E gives you more. More outfit choices with 20 kilograms of luggage included.
Just an ordinary early morning in Chisholm, it seemed. But for Postman Pew, it heralded.
There, for my friend Inventor Black.
Oh, do you know that then?
Aha! And it is this. 97 from the top.
How do you know what's it right, Sack? Got extras off with.
That's right. But I'm super grand.
Super who?
Supergirl.
97. There we are. I survive now.
I don't believe it. Supergram on a skateboard with X-ray eyes. Must have been them pickled onions I had last night. Meanwhile, just half a minute later, Supergram Super Speed is already lettered in Blackthorn Cottage.
It looks like a special invitation, Mr. Black.
Golly, Goshkins. But I best use my best reading glasses for this.
Oh, no, Mr. Black, don't bother. I can read it from here. Mr. Inventor Black, with his latest invention, is warmly invited to exhibit at the Modern Times exhibition in Chiselton later this week.
Real Supergram, that was word perfect.
Golly, Goshkins. Me invited to exhibit at the prestigious Modern Times exhibition. But that's a tremendous honour and a very great privilege.
But Grandad,
Yes, it is.
what is your latest, greatest invention?
It's outside, tied up to Queen Victoria.
Oh, no, Mr. Black. Not an old flying machine. That's been thought of loads of times before.
It is not a flying machine, Supergram. It is
Supergirl. Makes sense. Like a bunch of fairies.
it is a
More
unique
than
film.
the United
It
States.
skims along the road like a car.
About
It skims along the seas like a ship. And it
Supergram.
soars in the sky.
He's a
Like an
serious
air.
guy.
But does it actually work, Mr. Black?
Well, of course it works. Why shouldn't it?
I mean, have you given the skimmer a wee test drive yet?
A test drive? Well, no, not actually. But I mean, what do you mean?
Supergram? I never actually driven one myself before, but I've seen lots of car races on the telly. Always looks easy peasy to me. Coming for a spin then?
Supergran, are you sure you can drive this? Oh, come on, Grandad. Let's get in. All aboard! There we are.
And once more that morning, Postman Pew saw something that made him quiver like a half-set jelly. I must be sickening for something. First I see Granny with X-ray eyes. Now I'm seeing flying saucers.
Better make straight for Chisholm Park, Supergran. What's that? I haven't got any road tax or number plates for the skimmer yet. Oh, that's nothing. I haven't got a driving license either. Do you think it'll win first prize in the Modern Times exhibition, though? It's bound to, Grandad.
Makes them look like a bunch of fairies. Got more bottles than United.
It's truly amazing. This revolutionary denture has given me...
In your mouth, boom, boom. Look out. Supergran. She's a serious granny. Serious granny. Oh, excuse me. Who's there? Mm-hmm. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Serious granny. There's nothing that she can do.
Having the compassion and being non-judgmental.
I want to touch upon that deeper, but we have our first question, and then we'll circle back to that. Okay. Because I'm very, very interested in that a lot of people get that thought that by not buying into the dream, not buying into the illusion, that we are unable to touch base with the suffering of others. But in my own experience, I've been able to touch deeper. Because now I'm not as biased in my view of what other people are going through.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. I feel that as well, that I can relate more deeply when it's coming through me. And so even if I can see, because I know that we all cause ourselves suffering, even though I know that, I don't have to judge someone for it because I know I do it too. And the things that, of course, trigger us are the things that we also have unhealed in our own minds.
Are you ready for our first question?
Yes.
Regarding mental health, using the physics philosophy book.
There's nothing that she can do.
So yeah, if you have used finance to pay for any of your cars since 2007, you could be owed money back.
Long before Bristol had a name, the Romans built a port 6 miles downstream at the point where the River Trim meets the Avon. They called it Abona. Soldiers and merchants came and went for 300 years, shipping supplies between Bath and the garrison towns of Wales. Then Rome left and the port was abandoned. The river flowed on. The hills stayed empty. It would take 5 centuries before anyone built here again. This video uses artificial intelligence to visually reconstruct what the Bristol area may have looked like from its earliest origins to the departure of John Cabot in 1497. AI allows us to walk along riverbanks and through settlements that left almost no trace above ground, but some visual details may not be perfectly accurate. The history, however, is real. Sometime in the 9th or 10th century, the Saxons chose a low ridge of ground between 2 rivers and built a wooden bridge across the Avon. The place had natural defences, the Avon to the south, the Frome curving around the north and east, marshland on all sides. They dug a ditch, raised an earth rampart, topped it with a wooden palisade, and called the settlement Brigstow, the place by the bridge. It was a market town from the start. Coins struck in Bristol around 1010 proved that a royal mint was already operating, a privilege granted only to settlements of real commercial importance. The bridge connected the Saxon kingdom of Mercia to the north with Wessex to the south.